What's happening, my friends? It's Cass Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Mike Mazik. Big Dre, hashtag JBT. Boxing matchups with D Free. Hashtag TWT DC, member of the winning team, James Brody. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, the Box Historian. Today, the best of all time, heavyweight division. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian, bringing you all of that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Let's talk fashion. Hashtag JBT in the building. Getting close to another Wednesday. We'll be getting our preview tomorrow. Hopefully. But yeah, we're going to start another series this week, today. I'm going to go through every division and give you the top 15 to 20 fighters of all time, starting with the heavyweights today. Then each week on Monday, we're going to go right on down through the classes, all the way down to strawweight 105. The top 15 to 20 fighters of all time for each division. And yes, we can have current fighters on there. Top 15 to 20 best in their weight division, they can be on the list. And one fighter can be in more than one division too, because they might have been one of the top 15 to 20 in two different divisions. So yeah, as we're going through this list over the next few months, this is going to take 17 weeks. You may hear some of the same names in a couple different divisions, but yeah, that does apply. Like Sugar Ray Robinson. You will probably hear him in welterweight and middleweight. Melanie Queen 27. Hello, Melanie Queen 27. How are you today? Always good when Melanie Queen 27 comes in here. She's gonna keep you aware and notified of everything going on in this JBT. Salute, Melanie Queen. Good to see you today. But we are right at the beginning of another week of boxing history. That was everyone's weekend, by the way. So let's look at what we got coming up on this big week of boxing history on Cass Sports, the Box Historian. Of course, today is the best of all time, heavyweights. I forgot what today was momentarily. Best of all time, heavyweights. And also today, we are going to talk about, since we're in the heavyweight division, the top 12 slugfests at heavyweight of all time. Like that Philly and Manila, or Holyfield Bowl 1. Okay, we're going to talk about the top, not the top 12 heavyweight fights, the top 12 slugfests. That's coming up later in the show. And then tomorrow, that series, everybody seems to like this one. The matchups with the legends. This week is going to be Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus the Legends. Okay? That's tomorrow, every Tuesday. So far, what we've had, this will be the fourth one. We had Floyd, we had Oscar, we had Iron Mike last week, and this week is going to be Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus the Legends. And man, I can't wait to see how he matches up with some of those middleweights from the 50s. Because remember, in my opinion, the 50s was the best decade ever for middleweight. Any historians will know. That's when Sugar Ray Robinson came to middleweight, Jake LaMotta, Dean Foreman, Carmen Basilio, Randy Turpin, Dick Tiger, all of them fought in the 50s. So, yeah, we're not going to match Hagwood with all of them, but like 4 or 5 of them, because we got to do some other eras too. But yeah, the Marvelous One might get a few losses in the 50s. We're going to see. That's tomorrow. Don't miss it. Wednesday, we got a suggestion from the chat for this week. It's from Mike Mathick. It's going to be a profile, the life and career of Mark Madall out of Philly. Yep, that's Wednesday. And then Thursday, the Boxing in the State series continues. This week is Kansas. Yep, Kansas. So we're going to see what happened in Kansas concerning our sport, a little history and some other significant events that occurred concerning boxing in Kansas. And then, of course, we got to have the Boxers from Kansas segment. I look at some guys from Kansas. Right now, I don't know anybody from, I think Jeff Willett. I believe Jeff Willett is one of the top 12 slugfests at heavyweight today, too. I think he might have been from Kansas, old school fighter from the 20s, I think. But we're going to find out Thursday. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T. Hill? Good to see you today. Everybody enjoy the Canelo card Saturday. It went as I thought it would go. I thought that Berlanga would go down at some point in the fight. Yeah, but I thought he would go the distance too. Yeah, so Berlanga has become popular all of a sudden. Fight Canelo or Tank, man, that does a lot for your career. Yeah. Now they're talking about Berlanga is the second best at super heavyweight next to Canelo. I wouldn't go that far. But I hear people saying that, yeah, he beats all of them. From Billy, Plant, Pacheco, yeah. Just because he fought Canelo. I think he loses all of them. But then Friday, we end up the week with the profile, of course, and it's going to be the life and career of SOG, Andre Ward this week. So don't miss that one. That should be good. Okay. But we're right at the beginning of another one. And we're going to have, keep forgetting, what is today's show? No, I know. The best of all time. Heavyweights. I got 20 of them. The 20 best heavyweights of all time. Okay. You know Joe Louis is up there, Ali, The Rock. Got some surprises on there too, man. Foreman is up there, Holmes, I'm kind of biased toward the old guys from back in the day. I'm sorry. I just am, That's when I came into boxing in the 70s, man. So yeah, I'm a little biased toward that era. Ant McQueen in the building. What's up, Ant McQueen? Good to see you today, Ant. I seen all of y'all earlier in the hangout. We get a casual's corner at 12. I can't seem to catch it. It's like, man, the busiest time of my day is like 12 o'clock. And I'm going to make it a point to start catching them. We got a couple last week at 12, yeah. But Ant McQueen and Thomas Hill in here from the Casuals Corner Breakdown crew, yeah. You have not watched the fight until you watch what after the Casuals Corner Breakdown. Okay. Then you really see what's going on in there. We're gonna get started in about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, we got top heavyweights of all time and the top 12 slugfests at heavyweight. Not the top 12 best fights, slugfest, And I got some good ones, man. Of course, the Thriller and Manila's got to be on there. Yeah, and D Free, I got the show you suggested coming up next Wednesday about the most avoided fighters. I always like to take the suggestions I get from the chat on Wednesdays. So, and I've got some good ones too. And got a couple good ones coming up brought to you by Mark Mathick this week, the profile on Mike Madall, and it'll be brought to you by D Free next week. The most avoided fighters of all time. That should be a good one. Yeah. I'm just gonna put the Murderers Row into like one little category because it would take up the whole list. The Murderers Row fighter. So I'm just gonna do a little talk on the entire Murderers Row. Hagler will be in there, of course. Winky, Winky Wright, yeah. Boo Boo. Demetrius Andrade gonna make the list because remember, what was it down there? Middleweight or 54 somewhere. One of those he was avoided like crazy. Canelo, Triple G, both of them avoided him. Remember? So yeah, I think Demetrius Andrade gonna make it. Yeah, but we'll find that out next Wednesday. Yeah, this week is Mark Madall. But today, why do I keep forgetting that? The best of all time heavyweight. And every Monday, we're going to do a different weight class, all the way down to 105 strawweight or minimum weight or junior flyweight, whatever. They got like 5 different names for that weight class. 105 pounds, right? You know, no grown man should be weighing 105 pounds, but we got them. You know, they had some good ones too. Ricardo Lopez, he probably will be number 1 because he almost had an entire decade like Joe Louis. But, excuse me, Ricardo vacated this title. He was champion from like 90 to the end of 98, and he missed the entire decade by a few months. Like November 98, I think he, what was it, 99? It might have been 99, but the end of the decade, around November, he vacated and went up and won the title at the next weight class, up 108. He would have had an entire, Joe Louis wouldn't have been the only person to have an entire decade. Yeah. Ricardo Lopez is the early favorite to be the top 105 pounder. But I think Michael Carbajal came through there too, you know. I think Sor Rungvisai, all of them guys down there. So yeah, it's going to be a good series. I went over them before, but I'm going to go a little deeper this time. Yeah, into them. And I got a lot more people watching now too. So yeah. And another one I wanted to do again was the Boxing Lingo Show. You know, the different terminology that we used in boxing. I'm gonna go over that again too, but that was pretty interesting. Yeah. Jay Hardcore told me in the meeting that I got 2,000 views on that show. The best fighters that never won a championship. People really like that one. Wow. That was about a month ago, remember, the best fighters that never won a championship. Yeah. I had to watch it over myself yesterday and today. It was pretty good, I must add. It was pretty good. Best fighters that never won a title. Of course, there was some guys on there that were surprises, I thought. Like Riddick Bowe was, not Riddick Bowe, Donovan Razor Ruddock. I could have sworn he had a title. Yeah. And the other one, I can't think of his name. Yeah, a couple of them though, yeah. I could have sworn they had titles, but no, they didn't, yeah. There's some pretty good fighters. A lot of them from the golden era, from the 70s, like Terry Cooney and Ron Lau. Shavers never had a title. But one of the hardest, arguably the hardest punching fighter in the history of boxing, never knocked nobody out and took their title. But he did knock Ali and Holmes down, I believe, yeah. But he got up. They both got up and beat him. They were both title fights too, but they both got up and beat him. So yeah, Shavers, pretty good fighters on there. And I had this one guy had a 92%. Lucas Matisse. Yeah, he had a 92% knockout rate. Never won a title. That's crazy, ain't it? 92% knockout rate, but never had a title. You would have thought for sure he knocked some champion out and got that belt up off of him, but he didn't. So that was a pretty good show. Yeah. Okay, well let's get ready to get into it. Let our spokesperson holler at y'all for a minute. Okay. Put me in this technology again. At the screencast. At the screen. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta talk my way through this. First, take that off the screen. Not me. Well, how's everybody today? How was everybody's weekend? Mine was okay. Enjoyed the fight Saturday. Cool boy. It probably was the layoff, because man, I thought he lost. Yeah, I thought guy's name? Castro? I thought Castro pulled it out, man. I really did. But fortunately for Cool Boy, the judges didn't think Castro pulled it out. The judges thought Cool Boy pulled it out. So.
It's time for another raffle brought to you by the JBT. Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Konichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, that's what I want right
Great
there.
for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle, our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer. Great for all your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
Man. Apple 10th generation iPad, some Konichi Bear headphones, and a Ninja air fryer. Wow. What a raffle that is, man. I thought they were going to stop at the Apple 10th generation iPad and the headphones, but then the air fryer too. I can't get back to where I was at now. Oh. Okay, we're going to get ready to get started with today's show now. Technical difficulties. Oh. MG. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. How in the world did I get off a brand? I'm back on it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get ready to get started. We're going to be talking about, got 20 of the top heavyweights of all time. Okay. Yeah. Is that what I had up there? Yeah. I don't know where Lonnie, I haven't seen Lonnie Lee in like a week now, but Jay said it was okay. Yeah. What we got coming up this weekend real quick? As a matter of fact. What is this, the 21st? Anybody know? Who's gonna call? Mike Grimm, what's up, Mike Grimm? Yeah, Mike came in doing the commercial. Salute, Mike. Cast Sports regular. Let me check that real quick before we get started. See what we got on the agenda for 21st. I know we're getting on up into the year. October is less than a month away now. Bivol and Beterbiev, the big light heavyweight showdown. That's the next Riyadh season, right? I got Bivol, you know. All the guys on the J Hardcore, the old school panel, had Bivol yesterday. Yeah. Bruce Gas wasn't there. Bruce Gas would have had Beterbiev. Oh, come on, man. I'm just having a rough day. Who's hitting Latin this weekend? Anybody know? We're getting ready to find out. Then we're going to start today's show. And then tomorrow we got Marvelous Marvin Hagler going up against the Legends. You know, in the matches with the Legends series tomorrow, it's Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Like I was saying, against those great heavyweights from the 50s, man. 50 was loaded. Yeah. So Marvelous might get a few losses in there, when they go up against those guys. I can't get the schedule to come up. Well, guess what? We're not even going to worry about it. Oh, now it comes up. I don't think there's anything too big this weekend, because I would have known if it was something like Canelo or something like this week's card. But here it is, real quick. Friday, we got a Friday for Jaime Munguia, Friday, okay. Eric Bazinian, I guess that's right. Yeah, Jaime fights Friday, okay. All right, another Friday card. We have quite a few Friday cards this year. 2 Friday cards, wow. Callum Walsh from Dublin, Ireland. Jaime is fighting Friday, okay. No, guess what? 3 Friday cards. Oh my goodness. Look at that name. 3 cards Friday. And then Saturday, oh, that's okay. What? Is that here already? Joshua and Daniel DuBois and Anthony Joshua? That's Saturday. That snuck up on us. From London, okay. Not a bad card. Josh Warrington on it. Liam Smith and Josh Kelly. Hamza Shiraz. That's not a bad card at all. Joshua Buatsi. Wow, that's not bad. That's Friday. Mark Chamberlain. Okay. And then we got John Pascal. What? John Pascal still fighting? I think me and him about the same age. John Pascal back in the rings. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 cards this weekend. We're going to be like the kid in the candy store. 5 cards this weekend. Okay. Let's get ready to get started. Wow. 3 card Friday, 2 Saturday. Is this the Pro Box? No, Pro Box was last week. That would have been too much. Pro Box 2. Wow. But y'all heard it. 3 Friday, 2 Saturday. And the big one, DuBois and Joshua from London. I don't know why I was thinking that was like November. I did not know. We're in fight week for that. All right. Let's get ready to go with today's show. Man, we are going to be all right this weekend. 2 big ones back to back. Who y'all got? I got Joshua. Joshua been looking good lately, man. His last, 2 to 3 fights. Everything after, he didn't look that bad in the Usyk fights either. To tell you the truth, he really didn't. Oh, I missed that one. Big Dre. Big Dre says his left leg weighs more than 105 pounds. James Brody got Joshua. Okay, James. I do too. So do I, James. So do I. I got Joshua too. But let's get ready to get off into today. What's the name of it again? No, just kidding. The best of all time, heavyweights. We're going to be looking at each division over the next 17 weeks. Is it 17 weeks left in the year? No. October. Right around in there somewhere. Probably be early 2025 before we finish this one. I like the series. So we got 3 of them now. We got the best of all the divisions. We got the matchups against the legends on Tuesday. And we got the boxing in the state series on Thursday. Kansas this week, by the way. But today, the best of all time, heavyweights. When is Lonnie Lee going to show back up today? A big race, he already got the headphones. Okay. Yeah. Y'all better get those block specials. It's 3 for 25. That's the way to go. One person can win all 3 prizes. That's possible. One person can get all 3 of them. Yeah. So if I could get in it, I would go for the block special. Michael Garner got like 6 block specials. Melvin Queen got a few of them too. Her and Michael Garner is going for the hat trick. They're not playing. So you better get at least 1 block special. At least 1. Okay, just to be safe. But best of all time, heavyweight. Now, let me see. Should I drop that down a notch? I ain't trying to blast y'all out. Bare Knuckles would have been told me to turn it down. Bare Knuckles said, turn that down, Cass. Sheesh. Can't hear myself think. Well, and I said, yes, sir, Bare Knuckles. I was scared. Okay, there we go. Back up to my slide display. My beautiful slide display today. Guarantee it's beautiful. And it's got corners on them too, Remo, now. Okay. Remo said my pictures didn't have no corners on them. Okay. Now, the heavyweight division in boxing is comfortably the biggest, quite literally, right? But also figuratively. And it's also the most exciting. Anything can happen in a split second. And that's what makes it must watch, the heavyweight division. Now, there's no greater buzz than a huge heavyweight boxing fight. Think of the classics Muhammad Ali had back in the day with the likes of Joe Frazier and George Foreman. Think about Lennox Lewis, George Foreman, and think about Mike Tyson. The big ones he was in, and Vitaly Klitschko, right? Think of more recently. Think of Oleksandr Usyk taking on the Brits, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Yeah, we got Usyk and Tyson Fury coming up again. I got Fury next time. Now, the heavyweight division will always be the biggest in boxing, but who is the best of the best to lace up a pair of gloves in the heavyweight division? Okay, today we're going to talk about it. Now, the ranking factors include overall record, titles, ability in the ring, and level of opposition. Always got to consider level of opposition, Like they say Rocky 49 over, they say he fought everybody, but they was past his prime. But I beg to differ. The guys was old, but when he fought Joe Louis was on an 8-fight winning streak, and he was the number 1 contender. And when he fought Jersey Joe, how can you say Jersey Joe was past his prime? Guess what he was? He was over. Guess what else he was? Jersey Joe was the heavyweight champion of the world. But nobody else beating him. So Rocky beat him. How's that past your prime? You're the heavyweight champion of the world. And when he beat Archie Moore, Archie had 30 more fights after The Rock beat him, and he only lost 1. So, yeah. The Rock was beaten when nobody else was beaten. Okay. So, let's move on. I'll always defend Rocky, man, because that is the bad rap he gets. Those guys were old, but there was nobody else beating them around the time when Rocky beat him, okay? Jersey Joe was the heavyweight champion. The heavyweight champion is past his prime, then the whole division must be past their prime, right? Right or wrong? Okay. Because when Rocky beat Jersey Joe, it was for the heavyweight championship, remember? It wasn't like he was fighting some old washed up guy. He was fighting that world heavyweight champion. Always keep that in mind when you're talking about Rocky fighting them past the prime. Well, he was a past the prime heavyweight champion then. So nobody else was beaten. Okay, number 1. I could defend Rocky forever, man. I'm in the wrong place. Bear with me for a second. Let me think. Oh, that's Joe Louis. I was like, who's that white guy? That's Joe Louis. I thought I was in the wrong place. I'm in the right place. Joe Louis. Yeah, that's Joe Louis. Yeah. My bad. Okay. Big Dre says, hey, I heard that I have already, I read that. Yeah, Big Dre got the headphones already. Jarrell Hattie in the building. What's up, Jarrell? We're right at the beginning. Talk about these big time heavyweights. Let's salute Jarrell. Jarrell Hattie. How are you today? Jarrell's been here quite a few times. I'm coming, y'all. I was adding Jarrell because he's been there quite a few times. Give him a wrench. I give him the whole world wrenches with my channel. Don't say no, nobody. But you are moderator now, Jarrell. Okay. First, number one, Joe Louis, okay? Joe Louis, number one. The greatest heavyweights of all time. Number one, the Brown Bomber, okay? 56-3. 52 knockouts during his career. Okay? 25 straight title defenses, 23 of them in the first round. Okay? 15 in the first 5 rounds, 6 in the first round. Okay? So out of those 25 title defenses, straight title defenses, only 2 people went the distance with him. 23 were knockouts. Okay, 12 years straight heavyweight title reign. All of those are records. Okay, now the Brown Bomber resurrected the heavyweight boxing in the 1930s with his talents in the ring. Joe Louis was a boxing pioneer, right? He was the undisputed champion for nearly 12 consecutive years, and he took on all comers, right? Didn't duck nobody. He was a magnificent scientific boxer who was obsessed with his craft. If Louis was to lose because of a technical mistake, he would go back to the drawing board to make the necessary adjustments and come back stronger, okay? Come back even stronger. Now, after losing his first career fight to German powerhouse Max Schmeling, Louis would rattle off 11 straight victories. And the rematch between Schmeling and Louis was set after those 11 straight victories. Okay, the rematch was set. Now, Louis was fighting a German boxer with the next World War looming on the horizon. Okay, the stage was set as the Yankee Stadium rematch seemed to mean more than your average sporting event, right? It got called to the White House by the president and was told how important it was for him to win that fight. And the Brown Bomber didn't play with his food. He won the fight decisively, beating his powerful opponent with a barrage of well-timed haymakers. Got him out of there in the first round. And the fight was celebrated as one of the biggest in history up to that point. Coming in at number one, the Brown Bomber, okay? Number 2, greatest heavyweights of all time, the Louisville Slugger, Muhammad Ali. Number 2, Muhammad Ali. Everybody smashing on the light? Sure is. What is that? Like a clicking. Okay. Muhammad Ali. 56-5 with 37 knockouts during his career. Now, one of the most iconic sport personalities of all time, not just boxing, sports, period. Okay. Muhammad Ali earned his stripes by facing off with the greatest fighters of his era. Okay. He was known for his charismatic trash talk ahead of his fights. Ali was a smooth operator in many walks of life, with a gracefulness to his lateral movement and a fluidity to his punches. Ali glided around the ring like few before him, and he reinvented himself over and over again. He beat Sonny Liston to win his first championship as a 7-1 underdog, right? His fight against the much thicker built Liston was a sight to behold, as the more muscular Liston tried in vain to impose himself on Ali with little success. Ali was a matador who used his adversary's aggression against him, right? Coining the rope-a-dope style against Big George Foreman. He enjoyed a great rivalry with Joe Frazier, who he defeated 2 out of 3 times. And the most remarkable achievement of Ali's boxing career was knocking out George Foreman to win the Rumble in the Jungle as a 4-1 underdog. Ali fought and defeated the majority of the top heavyweights during what was truly the golden age of the division, the 1960s and 70s, okay? Now, there will never be another fighter to have the impact that Ali had on the sport. His greatness will live on for generations to come. Still going on right now, 50 years later. After this year's anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle, right? 1974. Yeah. Okay. Number 3. This might cause a little controversy. Greatest heavyweights of all time. Number 3. The Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes. Put it in the chat. Damn it. I know everybody don't agree with that. Heather E. How are you today, Heather E? Good to see you. Another one of the queens of the JBT in the building. Yeah, Larry Holmes, number 3. Put it in the chat. Is it in there? I don't see nothing. Put it in there. Larry Holmes, number 3. Okay. Let's see what I got. Larry Holmes comes 69-6, 44 knockouts over his career, over a brilliant career. You know, you don't see any guys back from those eras with losses because the best fought the best. You was going to get beat, you know. You wasn't fighting the number 15th contender and stuff like that, or cherry picking, the best. So everybody had losses. But once the close training partner of Muhammad Ali, Holmes made a great career after stepping out of the shadow of an icon. The Eastern Assassin was undeniably one of the elites of his time, with an astonishing number of wins. He dominated everyone he fought except Michael Spinks during his 7+ years as heavyweight champion, from 1978 to 1985. And he didn't dominate Spinks, but I thought he beat him. You know, those were 2 fights that, 69-6, I got him 71-4, okay, unofficially. Now, another incredible stat that Holmes has under his belt is his whopping 19 straight title victories that occurred during his reign, right? During his title reign, 19 straight, right? Now, a boxer puncher with a power jab and heavy right hand, who seldom was in a bad fight. He imitated Ali's defensive prowess. Okay, wasn't bad defensively either. Larry Holmes wasn't, no. Holmes may never fully receive his flowers as one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but his in-ring intelligence was quite something to behold. His toughest test came against a few heavyweights that's coming later on this list. Yeah, he always get his flowers from Cash Sports though. Number 3, Larry Holmes. There he is. Y'all know he was top 5 on Cash Sports list. There he is. The Rock. Number 5, Rocky Marciano. Okay? Rocky Marciano's record during his career, 49-0, 43 knockouts, 87% knockout rate. I don't have my calculator. I'm in my other office today. It's way back there. Miss Cass, if you're here, can you bring me my calculator off of that table over there, please? if you listen. It's way back there. But Rocky Marciano, 49-0, 43 knockouts. I know that's like 87, 88% from doing him before. The Rock, number 4, top 5. Now, The Rock is the only heavyweight champion to retire undefeated. Only 5'10" and 185 pounds. probably be a cruiserweight nowadays. But that was the division overall was small back then, you know. But only 5'10", 185 pounds, but was able to generate gigantic power. His best punches may have been to his opponent's arms, right? They were so damaging that it was difficult, if not impossible, for a challenger to hold up their hands after that punishment. After receiving that punishment, Rocky hit them on their arms. It might be where Canelo get that from. Now, Rocky was unmatched when it came to the weeks he would spend in a remote training camp preparing for battle. No holidays, no birthday celebrations. His family was not allowed to visit him while he was in camp. That was, for the most part, everybody back then. But Rocky was religious about it. But for the most part, you didn't have your kids, everybody running around at the ring doing your training camps and stuff back then. No. I see these guys right now training for a fight. Step out of sparring and pick up the little baby and kiss them. No, that didn't go on back then. The family stayed home, I mean, that was just part of your job, You had to separate yourself. Yeah, but it was mostly everybody, but Rocky was religious about it. It could be his child's birthday. Rocky be like, well, I'll see you after this camp is over. Yeah, no family. No, we're allowed to visit Rocky at camp. Rocky had what seemed like a loose and oftentimes awkward style, but it was actually the genius of Rocky's fighting style, that awkward. His relaxed nature in the heat of battle resulted in impressive cardio during fights and made it tough for his opposition to live with him in the ring. The Rock. Okay, number 4. Rounding out the top 5 greatest heavyweights of all time, rounding out the top 5 is Big George Foreman. Excuse me for a minute. I think this cast is knocked out. I gotta hit my calculator. Take me like 10 seconds. Well, yeah. I know one person will be missing the show again today, Miss Cass, and then knocked out. Damn, she's doing a lot of sleeping. Is that boy on the way that I always wanted? Okay, yeah, Big G. 76 with 68 knockouts. That is up there. Big George. Oh, come on. Slow down. I get mad when I don't do something right. 89%. I knew it was right there at 90. 89% for Big George. And Big George rounds out the top 5. Okay. Now, Big George made history, unmatched by any other athlete in world-class sports. He won Olympic gold at the politically charged 1968 Games in Mexico City at age 19, with only 21 amateur fights under his belt. He won Olympic gold with only 21 amateur fights. Okay, and he came back to a successful second career at the age of 38 years old to win 24 straight fights with 22 knockouts. Y'all know what I'm doing. 24 straight fights with 22 knockouts, 91%. That seems like it should be higher than that. Damn. Yeah, 91.6, almost 92. But yeah, he came back. He won 24 straight fights, 22 of them by knockout. Okay? And he again won the heavyweight championship by knocking out the undefeated Michael Moorer. Michael Moorer was undefeated at that time. George was 45 by then. That was 1994. At the time, Big George was the oldest fighter to ever win a world championship. Now his record was later broken by B-Hop. But George recaptured the title almost 20 years to the day that he lost it to Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974. Almost 20 years to the day. Yup. Sorry I didn't get the exact days for you. I should have. But it was almost 20 years to the exact day. Big George. Number 6, I told y'all I was biased to them. Current fighters can make the list, but I told y'all I'm biased to them old guys. All of them from the 70s, except for Rocky, for the top 5. Number 6, you know who it is. Smoking Joe. There he is walking away after depositing Ali on his butt. Smoking Joe striding away. See, I told you. That was one, the first one. That was the biggest one of the 3. That was when Ali was coming back after getting suspended, and Smoking Joe was he was the war people's hero, and Ali was anti-war crowd, man. And Bruce Gas told me they was outside that garden battling with baseball bats and clubs and all kinds of stuff to people out there. Was battling outside there, and Joe got the win. Yeah, Joe Frazier got the win in that one. That was the fight of the century. That was really the second fight of the century because Jack Johnson and Jess Willard was the first one, right? What happened to Joe? A boxing historian. I ain't seen Joe in about 2 weeks now. I'll ask Bruce Gas next time I see him. He would know. But Smoking Joe Frazier comes in at number 6. Now, Joe only had 37 fights. I didn't have 0, so 37 is a lot. But, the way they fought back then, 37 is really kind of low. He won 32, lost 4, had 1 draw, had 27 knockouts. That ain't bad neither. 80-something. 84% knockout rate, yeah. Now, Smoking Joe won Olympic gold at the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo. His professional career was guided by a group of Philadelphia professional and businessmen called Cloverleaf. Now, Yancey Durhan, his advisor/trainer, was highly respected. And Joe is another who met all the great heavyweights of the golden age and beat them all except his nemesis, George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. Only ones who ever beat Joe Frazier, George Foreman and Muhammad Ali. Each beat him twice. Yep. Frazier's 1971 fight with Ali was the most highly publicized fight of all time. Yep, told you that was the biggest one, the first one. Both champions were undefeated, both with legitimate claims to the biggest prize in sports. Frazier actually had the titles. Ali came in saying, I never actually lost him in the ring. So both had a claim to it, yeah. Frank Sinatra was at ringside shooting pictures for Life magazine. The closed circuit color commentator was Oscar winner Burt Lancaster, big-time actor from that period. Frazier dropped Ali in the 15th round with his lethal left hook. There it is right there. Yep. And won the decision. Now, Ali won their second and third meetings. The last was the Thriller in Manila. That was thought by many to be the greatest heavyweight title fight of all time. And the Thriller in Manila destroyed both men. Yeah, neither one of them was ever the same after that. No. Yes. I don't know how, after like round 10, I don't know how they kept coming out there. They were both dragging, like they about to fall over going back to their stool for the last 5 rounds. But when that bell rang, they was right back out there going at it. Except for round 14. Frazier didn't come out, but Ali had said he wasn't coming out either. Frazier would have waited a little bit longer to throw the towel, and he might have won because Ali's probably would have came in. But let's continue. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today. Okay, we're at number 7. Number 7, greatest heavyweights of all time. Lennox the Lion. Lennox the Lion Lewis. Okay. Talk about Lennox the Lion. He had 44 total fights in his career. He won 41, only lost 2. had one draw, 32 by way of knockout. Lennox the Lion Lewis. Okay. Yet another Olympic gold medal winner. He won his in 1988. Seoul, South Korea, beat Riddick Bowe, remember? Riddick Bowe might be on here too. He stopped future champion Riddick Bowe in the finals of the Seoul Games. Lewis, athletic at 6'5", was a prototype for the super heavyweight era in boxing. You know, with ties to England, Jamaica, and Canada. Lewis settled in London for his championship career. You know, his favorite sport for fun was chess. Lewis met and defeated all the top heavyweights of his era, with the exception of Riddick Bowe, and we know why that was, right? So, this fight was often attempted. This fight was never consummated. Lewis's only two losses came to Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall. They were both avenged by knockout victories. His final fight was with future champion Vitaly Klitschko in June 2003 at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Now, Lewis trailed on all scorecards in a wild fight that ended when Klitschko suffered a gushing eye cut, right? And the fight was stopped in the 6th round because of that cut. Lennox retired as champion, turning down many lucrative offers to continue fighting, right? The soft-spoken, intelligent Lewis did color commentary on HBO Fights for a few years after his retirement. And he is often spotted ringside for big fights on both sides of the pond. Yep, Lennox Lewis. Coming in at number 8, Evander Holyfield. There's Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. Evander and Mike. Now, Evander had 56 fights in his career, won 44, lost 10, 2 draws, 29 knockouts. Now, the real deal is the only man to win the heavyweight title 4 times, right? Competing as a light heavyweight in the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. He won all of the major, he competed in the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. He was cheated. I think he got that wrong. He was fighting a guy. Now get this. The guy he was fighting was from the same country the referee was from. I don't know how they let that happen. That should never happen. There's enough amateur Olympic level referees where that should not happen. The Evander was fighting a guy from the same country as the referee, and they sure enough cheated him. The referee let Evander start his punch toward the guy's head, then he gonna holler, stop. And just sure, of course, Evander follows through and hit the guy, and then he gonna disqualify. Come on, man. He might have been related to the guy, who knows? But Evander won all of the major cruiserweight titles as a professional before making heavyweight history, right? His most remembered victories were against Foreman in a record-breaking pay-per-view match in Atlantic City in 1991, and his stoppage and disqualification wins against Mike Tyson in 1996 and 1997, okay? Evander was a 16-1 underdog in the first Tyson fight, and he was still a 2-1 underdog in the second one, you know, the bike fight, yeah. Thought to be undersized in the neighborhood of the big heavyweight, Riddick Bowe outweighed Holyfield by 30 pounds in their first fight, right? And they had a classic trilogy. Now, Holyfield, a likable Georgia native, enjoyed one of the most lucrative careers in the history of boxing. Yeah, Evander made a lot of money in the sport. Now let's go back a ways, okay? Oh, that's the chat. Let's go back a few eras. For number 9, which is the Fighting Marine, Gene Tunney. called The Fighting Marine. Okay? Don't forget, we got coming up after this the 12 best heavyweight slugfest. Not the 12 best heavyweight fights, the 12 best heavyweight slugfest. Don't miss that. Okay. But first, before we do the Fighting Marine, let's do this. Okay? Let's do what the JBT spokesperson is talking about. Because I'm trying to win y'all some prizes. You know, all you gotta do is get in it. Here's how you do it.
Our first item is a new 10th generation iPad with a liquid retina display which shows off beautiful color and has plenty of power for all your handheld computing needs. Great for work, play, or just movies on the go. How much is it to enter, you ask? Just $10. Or you can catch the deal with 3 entries for just $25. It's easy to enter. Just cash app your entries to $JBT Network 1. That's $JBT Network 1. Our second item is a set of Konichi Bear Bluetooth noise canceling headphones. Great for gaming, movies, or travel. As the second prize in this great raffle, our third item is a Ninja brand air fryer.
Man, I think
Great
I'm
for all
getting
your air frying needs. Cooking healthy with the JBT. So send your entries via Cash App to JBT Network 1. That's JBT Network 1. $10 each or 3 for $25. Put raffle on the comment line and you are entered.
Man, somebody else got to draw these. I'm getting in this thing, man. Apple 10th generation iPad, Konichi Bear headphones, and a Ninja air fryer. But Gene Tunney, the Fighting Marine, is number 9. Okay, there he is. Appreciate you, Bella and the Queen 27. Okay, here's the Fighting Marine. Gene Tunney went 2-0 against the great Jack Dempsey way back in 1926 and 1927. He was the first athlete to receive $1 million purse in the second fight with Jack Dempsey. A classic boxer, Tunney used his fertile Shakespearean reading brain to outfox the hard-punching Dempsey. His only loss was a 15-round decision to all-time great middleweight champion Harry Greed in a light heavyweight fight earlier in his career. Tunney never lost at heavyweight, but he had one loss at light heavyweight, so he didn't retire undefeated like Rocky. Now, Tunney beat Greed in the rematch and the rubber match. Tunney's son John became a United States Senator from California. Okay? Gene Tunney. At number 10 is Jack Dempsey. Here's Jack. He was the most popular. He really was the first one to bring a whole lot of popularity to boxing, right? He was one of the big 5 of sports, and he was the most popular of them all. More popular than Babe Ruth, Bill Tilden, Red Grange, and Bobby Jones. They all played different sports. Yeah. The super popular champion known as the Manasseh Mauler changed the style of his sport with his bob and weaving, body punching attack. Most fighters of his era stood straight up and were headhunters. Dempsey won the title by chopping down the huge 6'6" Jess Willett, who weighed 245 pounds, to 5'11" Dempsey's 187 pounds. And he beat him bad, man. He beat him so bad, messed his face up so bad, they thought Dempsey had something in his gloves, okay? The outdoor fight in Toledo, Ohio was on the 4th of July, 1919. And it was reported to be 110 degrees at ringside. Dempsey gave Willard one of the worst beatings ever seen in a championship fight, and the former champ was unable to leave his corner for the fourth round, and he did it fast too. Willard suffered broken ribs, a broken jaw, and lost 4 teeth, but was called a coward and a quitter for retiring in his corner. No, man, you went through all that. That ain't no coward, no quitter. He just got the shit beat out. You know? The man had broken ribs, a broken jaw. He lost 4 teeth. Who's gonna keep fighting after all that? But next, number 11, top heavyweight, 20 top heavyweights of all time. Number 11, Charles Sonny Liston. There he is, Charles Sonny Liston. A heavy punching brutish bomber who took the title from Floyd Patterson by first round knockout. He proved there was no fluke by starting Floyd again in the opening round of their rematch, another first round knockout. His jab was a power punch and his right cross was deadly. His awesome presence seemed unbearable until brash Cassius Clay burst the bubble in their Miami confrontation, and again in Lewiston, Maine. That one was in a high school gymnasium. Yeah, Muhammad Ali burst his bubble. Number 12, Ken Norton. Now, Kenny made the list because he fought the great Ali 3 times and beat him 3 times, although they only gave him 1 of them, right? He broke the Louisville Slip's jaw, and he won the decision in their first fight in San Diego, California. He lost 2 very close controversial decisions at the Inglewood Forum and Yankee Stadium. Hall of Fame promoter Don Chagrin mused, "You could have raised Norton's hand all 3 times, right?" His style confused Ali. Norton fought an epic 15-round war with Larry Holmes and met most of the Golden Age heavyweights. In high school, this superb athlete starred in football, basketball, baseball, and track. And he was so good in track, they changed because he used to win. He participated in so many events in track and field, and he was winning all of them. In Illinois, they had to reduce the number of events you could compete in because of Ken Norton, called the Ken Norton rule out there in Illinois. Because he was competing in all of the events in the meet just about and winning all of them, they put a limit on the amount you could compete in because of Ken Norton. Yep. Number 11, Riddick Bowe. Yes, Riddick Bowe. Him in Holyfield. Yeah. Now, Bowe could have been higher on the list if he only would have applied himself in the gym. When training for fights, if he would have applied himself a little bit more, he would have been higher. But the only big fight he ever got in excellent shape for was his first meeting of 3 against Evander Holyfield, when he won the undisputed title. Now, Bowe lost the rematch, right? That was the Fan Man fight, right? And that was his only professional loss. And he was winning at that time. I think Fan Man affected Bowe more than he did Holyfield. Bowe's wife fainted in the audience, and he wasn't aware of that and everything. He had to continue to fight, right? So he ended up losing that one, but he won the other 2, right? And he got up from the canvas to win the rubber match by knockout. His all-time great trainer, Eddie Futch, walked away from Bowe saying, "Riddick could be great if he would only buckle down. I can't be a party to it any longer. Such a waste of talent." The great Eddie Futch said that about Riddick Bowe. Yep. The great Eddie Futch walked away from him. Number 14. 5 to 6 more to go. Jersey Joe Walcott. There's Jersey Joe. I don't know who that is. But Ezra Charles he's fighting. Okay. A hard-punching, relentless stalker with a shuffling style. Many thought he beat our number one on his list, Joe Louis, but he wound up on the wrong end of a controversial decision loss in their first fight. Even Louis, later in life, hinted that he received a gift the night he met Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe said Joe Louis told him in the ring after the fight that he won. Joe Louis denied that, but later in life he hinted that Jersey Joe won. I doubt if he told him in the ring though. Number 15, Floyd Patterson. There's Floyd. Floyd Patterson. Another small heavyweight at 5'10" and usually around 180 pounds. His 3-fight series with Ingemar Johansson will always be a part of heavyweight title lore. That's in the Snakes part of the show too. The top heavyweight slugfest, yeah, him and Ingemar Johansson is in, I think it's 3. This soft-spoken, shy, humble role model was a Cus D'Amato creation with fast hands and a leaping peekaboo style. The women loved him. He was their fantasy, teddy bear. Now him and his son Tracy Harris Patterson are the only father-son to win a title in boxing. To win. Not the son wasn't a heavyweight, but they had only father-son team to win championship. I couldn't think of any other one. Anybody know of any others? I think they are. Him and Tracy Harris Patterson, fought around the 90s. 4 more to go. Next is Vitaly Klitschko, the older of the Klitschko brothers. The older of the 2 brothers, champions. He had tremendous power, a strong chin, PhD intelligence, and dedication. Being almost 6'7" didn't hurt either. A great humanitarian, Vitaly retired with his WBC belt to focus on politics of his troubled home country, Ukraine, and later became mayor of its capital city, Kiev. This might cause some controversy too. 17, Mike Tyson. Put it in the chat. Okay. Is it in there? Nope. Everybody must agree. Mike Tyson deserves to be this low. And I had Larry Holmes, number 3. Everybody must have agreed on that. Thank y'all. 17, Mike Tyson. Now, why is he so low on the list? He has fast combinations, pulverizing power, and was a great intimidator. He netted over $300 million in purses that he spent because his anti-hero had record-breaking drawing power. So why isn't he in the top 15? Iron Mike, another D'Amato creation, was the world's greatest front runner. Never once did he walk through fire and win. I talked about this when I did the matchup. When I talked to him and spoke to Joe Frazier. Never once did he walk through fire and win. He never came from behind to win. He never rose from the canvas to win. Lack of heart, lack of character. I don't know, tell me. But he deserved to be this low. Yeah. 18. Yeah, Jerry Corey made it. Jerry Corey, there he is. Jerry Corey fought all those golden era heavyweights. Never won a title, but if Jerry Corey fought nowadays with these heavyweights, he would be undisputed heavyweight champion. Jerry Corey, perhaps the best heavyweight to never win a title. Irish Jerry and his lethal left hook knocked out bigger, stronger fighters. He was supposed to lose to Corey converted Don King. Well, he knocked out bigger, stronger fighters he was supposed to lose to. Now, Corey converted Don King from a manager into a fabled promoter when he knocked out paralyzing puncher Ernie Shavers in the first round of the Madison Square Garden Biggie. King managed Shavers. A jury fought Ali, Frazier, Patterson, and many other stars of the Golden Age. If only he didn't have that tender Irish skin. Well, he kept his cut men very busy. Yup, he cut a lot. You could have called him the Bellflower Bleeder. yeah, Jerry got cut a lot. Jimmy Ellis made it. It's Jimmy Ellis. On the left, it's Jimmy and Joe Frazier. Jimmy Ellis won the WBE's 8-man heavyweight tournament, created to replace Muhammad Ali when he was suspended for failing to submit to the draft during the Vietnam War. Ellis beat Quarry in the finals after the jury had him out on his feet and failed to finish him, right? And he was a former Ali stablemate. Now, Joe Frazier later flattened Ellis to become the undisputed champion, okay? And last is the other Klitschko brother, Vladimir. There he is. Last of the top 20 is Vitaly's kid brother, Vladimir Klitschko, who held the IBF title for almost 10 years and collected the WBO, WBA, and ring versions along the way. And this was during the leanest crop of heavyweights in modern boxing history, though. And he lost the belt to Tyson Fury, okay? And actually, now Joe Louis has the longest consecutive reign as heavyweight champion, but Vladimir has the longest time as heavyweight champion, but his reigns were broken up. But if you put them together, he was heavyweight champion longer than anybody in history. They recognized Joe Louis because his was consecutive. But Vladimir actually held the belt longer than Joe Louis. Now, we got the top 12 slugfests in heavyweight history, okay? Top 12 slugfests in heavyweight history. Let's look at them, okay? Hope everybody enjoyed what is this damn thing in that, man? Oh, goodness. Okay, let me get that up for you. Hope everybody enjoyed the show so far today. Don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is your matchup with the Legends series, okay? Marvelous Marvin Hagler going up against the Legends tomorrow. Yeah, that is going to be good. And it's finished. Oh, except for the last 5. I got 5 more matchups to do. I got 15 for you tomorrow. Marvin Hagler against 15 Legends. Got 10 of them done. 5 more to go. Let me see something real quick. Bear with me for one momento. Okay. How's everybody? It's Monday. New week starting. Right at the beginning of another week of boxing history. Got a big week of boxing history coming up for you, too. And like I just told you, don't miss tomorrow. Marvin Hagler versus the Legends. Everybody seemed to like that one. Yeah. That was a Thomas Hill idea. Yeah. The legendary Thomas Hill himself. I did one on Floyd, but it was only supposed to be like a one-day show. But Thomas Hill said, you know what, Cass? You ought to make a regular series out of that. So I'd say, Thomas Hill, you gonna help me with all that research? But no, great idea, T. Hill. And if he would, if I asked him, he most certainly would. Okay. Oh Lord, I lost my chat. I gotta be able to see my chat. Then I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There it is. I got it. Stuck on 19 likes. But yeah, this is the top 12 all-time greatest heavyweight slugfest. Not greatest heavyweight fights, greatest heavyweight slugfest. And I just remember I gotta go to the supermarket after this. Oh man. Yeah, Miss Cash sending me to the supermarket. Now there's a human fascination for seeing large things torn asunder. Be it a huge office tower, a bridge, an ego, or even a man, or perhaps 2 big men courting ruin, hijacking the laws of physics for rounds at a time with the aim of standing over a fallen giant. In the 4th century, AD Latin poet Claudianus said, I'm not even going to read that. Okay. But it's in Latin, but in English what it means is, men are raised on high in order that they may fall more heavily. Okay? Men are raised on high in order that they may fall more readily. Now, I can read Latin now. Don't think I can. But I just had it in English too, so I know y'all dudes couldn't understand Latin. I put it on y'all. I would have read it in Latin. Okay. Now, there wasn't always a literal fall in these heavyweight slugfests, but there had to be a winner, and the winner had to taste hell to get the victory. Herewith, our ranking of the all-time greatest, most thrilling, violent, and hellacious heavyweight battles in the long history of the fight game. Here we go. Okay. Number 12. Now is Michael Moorer and Bert Cooper. But that's Michael Moorer and Evander Holyfield. I couldn't find Bert Cooper. Michael Moorer on the left. And Michael Moorer won this fight by 5th round TKO, May 15th, 1992. This fight was for the WBO heavyweight title, but no one took the WBO seriously at that time. And in the end, the belt mattered far less than the incredible action resulting from this collision of big punchers with less than shock-proof chins, right? Two big punches, and neither one of them had that good of a chin. That's a recipe for a knockout for somebody, right? Yeah, always a recipe for excitement. Now, Moorer was caught with a series of punches and sunk into the ropes less than a minute into the fight. But seconds later, a counter right hand followed by a left sent Cooper sprawling. The slugfest stayed on the ropes and in the corners. And in the third, Moorer went down from a barrage, but his counters off the ropes kept him alive. It was Cooper's penchant for wading forward into danger behind his cross-armed guard that opened him up for a half dozen hard flush punches that decided matters in round 5. Yep, that was a good one. Anybody remember that one? They went at it for 5 rounds. Next one is Riddick Bowe. Evander Holyfield won. Riddick Bowe got a 12-round unanimous decision, November 13th, 1992. Yeah, Holyfield on the left, Bowe on the right. In another changing of the guard at heavyweight, Bowe and Holyfield fought for the first of 3 times in 1992. Bowe was undefeated at 31-0. He enjoyed a 30-pound weight advantage, just told you that, remember, over the former cruiserweight champion, and had cultivated a serious temper as a professional. Likely due to being labeled a quitter after his loss in the 1980 Olympics to Lennox Lewis, right? That's why he got that label quitter. I told him, you are going to live with that tag until you reach the throne room, said Bowe's trainer, Eddie Futch again. And getting there was no picnic. The first 9 rounds saw plenty of back and forth action. And then came round 10, an absolute classic. No heavyweight champion and challenger have ever fought a more heroic round, wrote the late Pat Putnam of Sports Illustrated. A spirited effort from Holyfield in round 11 was turned away when Bowe floored him to seal a points win. Yep, that was a good one. That was one. I saw that one. Yeah. That was real good. Holyfield, Bowe won. Next, Evander Holyfield, Michael Dokes. Yeah, there you go. Dokes on the left, Holyfield on the right. And Holyfield won this one by 10th round TKO, March 11th, 1989. No one in any lifetime should be asked to summon that much courage, that much heart, short of wartime combat, to Earl Gutsky of the Los Angeles Times after watching this Donnybrook. It seemed unlikely that Holyfield, undefeated and opening as a 91 favorite, would have much trouble with a Dokes that was on the second leg of his career and had a history of drug abuse. The odds, even in narrowing to 3-1 by fight time, were wrong. The two men traded low blows in round 1 and proceeded to literally stand toe-to-toe and swap power punches. Round 3 saw Holyfield backed up by headshots, and in the 5th, Dokes sent Evander to the ropes with a right hand, but the torrid pace couldn't last. Holyfield's body work was taking its toll. Just when it seemed the bigger man was fading, round 8 produced more brutal exchanges. But it was Dope's final push. In round 10, a left hook lowered Dope's guard and took his balance. And seconds later, the referee wisely halted a tremendous war. Holyfield Dope. Okay, this was a good old one here. Floyd Patterson versus Ingemar Johansson 3. 6-round knockout. March 13th, 1961. And Ingemar Johansson stayed on the mat for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. He was out. Yep. He was out for 5 minutes. Yeah. Now, as heavyweight let me drink some water. I can't get my throat clear. There we go. All right. Now, as heavyweight champions go, Patterson became known for being one that was particularly easy to hit and hurt. And Johansson found Patterson's chin plenty of times in the first fight in 1959. Knocked him down 7 times, right? And he won a massive upset. But Patterson got revenge with a left hook knockout in the rematch the following year. And he was favored to retain the title in the rubber match of the trilogy. Odds went out the window as Patterson was cracked with a right hand and sent down hard in the very first round. He was given a mandatory 8 count. Right? That was the first, when they started the mandatory 8 count, was that fight right there. That was the first mandatory 8 count ever. Right? In the heavyweight title fight. Then another right hand sent him down moments later. Johansson sensed the chance to end the fight and attacked, but ran into a left hook that floored him. Needless to say, these two were made for each other. In round 6, Johansson doubled down with his right hand and landed it, but Patterson responded with a huge hook that connected on the Swedish forehead, and left him vulnerable to a series of right hands that sent him down for the count. 5 minutes. He was out 5 minutes. Yep. He was out for 5 minutes. Next, James Jeffries against Tom Sharkey. November 3rd, 1899, James Jeffries got a 25th round. Won this fight in the 25th round, okay? In the words of Jeffries, if ever there was a game and desperate fighter, Sharkey was the man. He had to know this was the second violent meeting between the two big men. The first for the title held by the Boilermaker, the Irish Terror hit the deck in round 2. But true to form, Sharkey bounced up and took the fight back to the champion. The New York Tribune reported from ringside, Sharkey forced the fighting and was at his man with both hands, increasingly, right? And the difference between the two was Jeffries' 20-pound advantage and the extra force in his punches as he rocked Sharkey badly in the 22nd round. But Sharkey roared back, his collar foul ear wobbling and his eyes squirting blood. It was a brutal affair, leaving both men with various injuries, including broken ribs for Sharkey, who was inconsolable after the decision went to Jeffries. For decades, this was widely considered the greatest fight in the history of the heavyweight championship. Yeah, Jeffries won it in the 25th round. Wow. Next one, Rocky Marciano, Jersey Joe Walcott won. Yeah. Susie Q. Yeah, Rocky Marciano knocked Jersey Joe out in the 13th round, September 23rd, 1952. Jersey Joe was a hit on all 3 cards. If they went to 15, then Jersey Joe would have retained his title. And this is how these crazy people say Rocky was beating people past his prime. Jersey Joe was a heavyweight champion. I don't care if you're 100. If you're the champion, you're not past your prime because there's nobody else beating you, right? So how can you say he beat somebody past the prime? The man was the champion. So stop it. Rocky was 42-0 with 37 knockouts at that time, right? And Jersey Joe Walcott was a heavyweight champion, 1952. And Rocky is still pointed to as the ultimate example of a heavyweight brawler. In this fight, the first of two, Walcott met Marciano's pushing and shoving in the opening round with several right hands and finally a short, quick left hook that sent Rocky down for the first time in his career. I lost him. I should have finished it, but he got away from me, muttered the distraught Walcott after the fight. He almost had it, and more hooks greeted Marciano when he got up, bloodying his mouth. But Rocky upped the pressure in rounds 3 and 4, and in the 6th, he cut Walcott over the left eye and rattled him with his own hooks, right? Soon Walcott began using his legs, old as they were, and Marciano, bleeding from the cut atop his head and one between the eyes, had no answers and was rocked again in rounds 11 and 12. Round 13 came and desperation set in for Rocky. And when Walcott back to the ropes, a gut-wrenching right hand bump exploded on the champion's face and put him to sleep. That's that gut-wrenching right hand right there on the screen. Susie Q. You know, anytime a man name his right hand, you got to be a bad man. We're winding down. We're going to get some link time in a few minutes. Next, Larry Holmes. We're going backwards. Larry Holmes and Ken Norton. We're winding down to the final. Larry Holmes, 15-round split decision over Ken Norton, June 9th, 1978. That was a slugfest there. Now, Holmes versus Norton was the tale of several fights, all rolled into one, right? With a hearty side order of boxing politics, as Ken Norton was gifted the WBC belt after new champion Leon Spinks ignored that organization's edict to face Norton or risk losing his belt. Spinks instead took a rematch with Muhammad Ali, which was way more money. You know, he had beat Ali, so now the world was watching, so he was a way bigger purse fighting Ali again than Norton. So yeah. Now, while Norton was ordered to face the winner of a so-called eliminator fight between Larry Holmes and Ernie Shavers, the bottom line was a champion who had never won a championship fight defended his title against a legit top contender, and the result was an unforgettable 15-round war. Holmes jabbed and flirted his way to a commanding lead through the first few rounds before Norton came alive, stunning the younger man in rounds 6 and 7 with huge shots. It wasn't until the late rounds that Holmes got his jab working again, and by then, it had very little pepper on it. But he took round 13 with a series of right-hand bombs. Norton rallied in the next round, and the stage was set for an unforgettable finish. A mixture of exhaustion and determination kept Holmes and Norton firing at one another in round 15. A 3-minute stanza, the ring would slot at number 7 on their list of the 12 most exciting rounds in boxing history. Larry Holmes and Ken Norton. We're gonna go back to this one. Joe Jeanette and Sam McVeigh. That's Joe Jeanette on the left, Sam McVeigh on the right. That's Joe Jeanette and Sam McVeigh. Joe Jeanette won this fight in the 19th round, April 17th, 1909. Okay? Yep. Joe Jeanette, Sam McVeigh. Joe Jeanette won this one. I'm going to speed it up because we're getting ready to drop the link. Just got a couple more. The next one would be what is it, number 4? George Foreman and Ron Law. That was another good one. There they are. George Foreman, Ron Lyle. This was January 25th, 1976. George Foreman got Lyle out of there in the 5th round. This was another one of those fights like Hearns Hagler. Only 5 rounds, but it won Fight of the Year. Hearns Hagler was only 3 rounds, won Fight of the Year in was it 80-something, 82, 83, something like that. But this one, Fight of the Year for 1976. The thing about Lyle was he was completely unafraid and challenged me at Ring Center. Foreman stated in a 2014 interview with Ring TV. Nobody other than Sonny Liston in sparring stood and punched it out with me with any success. A clash of truly big men with big power. This was a slugfest from the opening bell. Lyle rocked Foreman with a right hand in the opening round. But the second round saw Foreman return the favor before the timekeeper rang the bell a minute early. Foreman pinned Lyle to the ropes in the 3rd, hammering away with his wide, heavy shots. But a right hand crumbled Foreman to the canvas in the 4th. George rose to send Lyle's mouthpiece sailing with his own right hand before discarding him under the bottom rope with a left. Up and still feisty, Lyle put the ex-champion down once more in the round's closing seconds. The 5th and final round was a true war of attrition on its own, with both fighters putting their energy into any punch they could land. Lyle found himself trapped in a corner and pummeled relentlessly until he went down for the last time. The victory stood as Foreman's brutish answer to media criticism of his heart and will. Yeah, that was crazy. Fight of the Year, 5 rounds. Next was Joe Frazier. Muhammad Ali won. We touched on that earlier when we was talking about the top heavyweights. But Joe Frazier won this one, March 8th, 1971. Victory round unanimous decision. Iconic fight. Not only a great fight, but iconic. And this was so big of a fight that their daughters had a fight 30 years later on the anniversary, June 8th, 2001. Later, Ali, Jackie Frazier live, called Ali Frazier 4. And later, Ali won that one. Yeah, that's how big that was. The daughters continued it on. Huge. Just a couple more. Then we'll drop the link in. Okay. Jack Dempsey, Louis Firpo. Yeah, Jack on the right, Louis on the left. Jack got knocked through the ropes in this one. Jack got knocked through the ropes, and then he was almost out, but the bell saved him. They got him back in the ring to his stool, and Jack asked his corner who won the fight, and they was like, Jack, the fight's still going on. It's just the 2nd round. And then Jack knocked Firpo down. I think it was like 9 times in the 2nd round to win the fight. Yeah. Crazy fight. There is a tape of it though, if you want to see it. You got to go way back and search, but you can't find that one. I've seen it. Can't find a lot of them fights from back around that time, but I've seen that one. Because Jack Dempsey was big. You know, a lot of fighters, they didn't make film up during that era, but Jack Dempsey, his fights were always a record made of them. Yeah. And the last, but certainly not least, was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The Thriller in Manila. I only had to read this one. Those two guys almost killed each other in that ring, man. I was telling you about it a little while ago. And after round 10, I don't know how they both continued to come out there. Joe Frazier corner was classic, had to save the fighter from himself. Guess what? After round 14, Joe Frazier couldn't even see and was still trying to come back out there for the 15th round. That's why this fight gets number 1 on the top heavyweight slugfest of all time. Joe Frazier couldn't even see. Ali had closed both eyes, and he was still trying to argue with his corner, ready to fight his trainer because he wouldn't let him come off around 15. Okay, and Ali. Speaking of Ali, Ali went to his corner after 14 and told Angelo Dundee, "Cut my gloves off. I'm not going back out there." Joe Frazier arguing with his trainer because he wouldn't let him come back out. Ali crossed the ring arguing with his trainer because his trainer trying to make him go back out there. It was just crazy. But anyway, Joe Frazier didn't come out because Ali said many times, I heard him say it on different shows, that he was not coming back out there for round 15. So if Joe Frazier would have waited a little bit longer, he would have won. What if they both threw the towel at the same time? What if whoever hit the mat first loses? That was crazy though. But let me put the link in. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't miss tomorrow. That's the matchups against the Legends continues with Marvin Hagler this week. Marvelous one. You got to go up against all those classic legendary champions from the 50s, man. So don't think the Marvels is going through this one undefeated. Don't think that. We might get our first draw. Remember, this is the 4th week, and we done had almost like, 40 or 50 matchups. We haven't had a draw yet. So, yeah, don't miss tomorrow. Okay? The matchups with the Legends. Marvin Hagler versus the Legends tomorrow. That is going to be good. I got 15 matchups for you. Got 10 of them done already. I'll finish our last 5 today. Sometime today. That's a lot of work, but I don't mind. But look, man, I can't answer the phone right now. That's kind of an important one too, but I'll call them back. Leave a message. Let's see. It's going to be right today, T. Hill. You're not going to get to tell me wrong link. If it's not right today, I'm just going to end Cast Sports and go off the air forever. Okay? I know it's going to be right. It's coming. 9, 6. Let me do this. Well, okay, copy and paste, but almost ready. We got 15 minutes. I got to get on up out of here at 4. Because, in the JBT, we don't intrude on each other's time. It's time for the voice at 4 o'clock. Okay. And I am getting out of here because I'm going over there and watch the voice. He always got something good for us. Everything going on in boxing nowadays, unbiased, balanced boxing talk. You get both sides of every situation. There's BBO Boxing TV coming up at 8 p.m. tonight. Yeah. His favorite fighter is Tank Davis. He don't like T.O. that much. Salute BBO. Oh, that was fire this morning, BBO. You had that in there about that history. The guy that created it was something to do with railroad cars. Fire. Great work, man. Great work. That was fire. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Stitch Duran tonight. That's right. Jay said that this morning. Yeah, Stitch Duran tonight. Yeah, on BBO Boxing TV. I'll be over there. Yeah, Stitch Duran tonight. That should be a good one. Yeah, BBO gets some fire interviews over there, man. Yeah. He had, who was a guy named BBO from the Norman? Yeah, Brian Norman Sr. last week. Yeah, Brian Norman Sr. over there last week. BBO did, yeah. He had the female boxer a few weeks ago. She could go, man. Wow. She could go. Yeah, I was hard keeping up with what she was saying, BBO. She would finish one set and she'd be halfway through the next one. I was still on what she just got finished saying. But it was a great interview, though. Yeah. BBO Boxing TV. Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV, another fire channel in the YouTube streets. Salute. Cannabis Education. Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV, yeah. That's the perfect person to give you education on cannabis right there, too. I'm telling you now. Okay. I got somebody in the background. Let me get him on up here. I don't even know who it is yet. What's happening? Let me get this out of the way. Did I bring you in? Oh, no, I got too much stuff on. I must didn't. Here we go. Oh, I sure did. I'm sorry.
Now
Here you
you
go, Trump.
brought
I
me.
had brought you in. Okay, what's up, Peter?
Now you brought. Oh man, you the man. You the man. I just
Yeah.
came because the link was dropped, man. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was an invite, so I decided to walk on in. I did
Yeah.
knock and ring the
Always
bell
open.
affectionately, man. So you know, I left that good old light.
Yeah, the door is always open.
So yeah, great topic today, man. I mean, the heavyweight is definitely a subject of debate. I mean, you can take it anywhere. Can't argue with what one believes or feels, especially when the people that they speak on are such
Mhm.
great fighters. So with that being the case, man, you know, I'm never going to argue somebody's placement, but I'm going
Right.
to always, you know,
Yeah, it's like an opinion.
favor skills, man. Skills is ultimately
Skills pay the
what the
bills.
sport is made of, and there are
That's
various skills. There are various skills. Now,
And
people
you know,
just
another
think
big
skills.
one here.
What's
Another
that?
big one is opposition, the opponents too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I believe in that, man. I mean, I know we had an incident where somebody didn't have such a great resume and did such great work in the ring against somebody that had a better resume and didn't look so good in the ring. But there are also extenuating circumstances too that also may come into play. And I think we saw a bunch of those culminating that fight.
Okay.
You saw somebody stay at a weight that wasn't probably where they should have been for far too long. You saw them running up hills that, you know, were taxing and grueling to your body. You saw them get down to a weight and then supposedly broke ribs and on painkillers. So it didn't look good in the ring. But that being the case, usually the resume is a great indicator of greatness. And that's what we don't give, quote unquote, the newer fighters today, the respect that they're due for the skill set that they possess.
Right.
And like we were talking on the Casuals Corner today, and somebody in the audience, somebody in the chat said that they never believed that Scooter was a special fighter, Cool Boy. And I agree with that statement. I never thought he was special. I thought he was good. I thought he was very good, but never special. See, special is what when you see him, it's almost like you seen that movie, The Last Dragon, with Bruce Leroy and Shonuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you got that glow. And some people got that red glow, some people got that golden glow. And no matter who they fight against, you can see that golden glow or that red glow upon them. And some fighters are like that. I thought that, you know, Larry Holmes had that golden glow, man. That dude was special.
Very underrated.
He was special, man. Very underrated. And like I say, man, that rope being in the way could have been a different outcome in that dang Tyson fight, man, because he was about to land that right.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
one of them never knows. But
could have.
Like you say, Cool Boy, that's not meaning he might not get special. If sometimes at some point, you know, though, you know, I don't look at him, you can call him special right now, but he might reach that someday.
But like I said, I never thought he was special. Like when I seen Tank, I thought he was special.
But are you saying that Cool Boy could never? You think he'd never be a special fighter? He'd just stay good, just good?
Yeah, I think there are people who are just like, just got it. Right. Just got it. And I think there's some people who are just really, really, really great. Like I say, you know, and then there's those ones that's like, wow. And then there's those guys that are just like, oh my. And, you know, I think the ones that got the red glow are the wild fighters. I think the oh my's are the gold glow. Like, no matter what, them bad boys just got what it takes to get the job done. And it could be a bad day, and they're going to get the job done. You know, the opponent can come on their best day, but they're still going to get the job done. Or if they... What's that?
What do you think about Berlanga? Because so many people saying that he's number 2 at super middleweight and everything. What do you think about his performance?
I think that's the star power of Canelo. I think Canelo, much like Tank, they have star power and draw. And when you do well against them or better than expected,
He made the
then you get bumped up big time.
Right.
It's like you get a boost in recruiting. So
Yeah.
now you become the talk of the town. And I mean, just to justify the fact that he didn't get him sparked out of there. Oh man,
Right.
Berlanga is good now. Now I will say, Berlanga surprised me because I thought he was getting knocked out. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he was getting.
I thought he would go down during the fight, but
you called it. You said he would go down, but go to distance. You did.
Yeah.
I said he would go down and it would be out, but I thought it would be around the 8th, 9th round. It happened much earlier than that, but what I do know is that he has to take this fight and learn from it.
That's
like
right.
honestly, since he had that much respect for him after the fight, I think he should talk to him and tell him like, "Yo, you took a loss to a legend before, and how did you grow from it?"
From that, right?
Now, granted,
like it's coming out party. Who knows?
yeah. I mean, I would do that, man. I'm like Kobe when it comes to stuff like that. I don't got no ego where I can't learn from you.
That's right.
Just because I play against you don't mean that I don't respect you enough where, hey, you could teach me something.
That's right.
One thing about Kobe feared nothing but, he feared nobody on that court. But when he came across something that, he could learn from and he could add to his game, he did not hesitate.
Mike said, during the game, Kobe would be out there asking them questions. They playing against each other during the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta come to this understanding about Kobe. I mean, a lot of people hate on Kobe because they say he was just imitating Jordan. He imitated a lot of folks. It wasn't just Jordan. It was a lot of folks. It's just that his game resembled so much
couldn't do that.
Jordan.
Everybody couldn't imitate Jordan, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, who could imitate Jordan?
That's right. So,
I mean, hell, it'd be tough to do that because he was a different type of player. Now, granted, he definitely played in a time where he was the big guard, so it was a lot easier for him to navigate over the smaller people.
That's
but
right.
I mean, he still had athleticism out the wazoo. Something that, he possessed greater than a lot of other players. There's only a few players who have more athleticism than Jordan. But what you take from it is the fact that when you go against somebody and you recognize the greatness in them and the things that you could probably pattern your game after, you don't hesitate to ask them. It's up to them to say, nah, or yeah. And I think that Berlanga needs to do the same thing, man, because you know one thing's for certain, he could take a punch because he was taking a punch. But he was also 190 pounds up in that ring too. So
he was big,
he was big, you know what I'm saying? So hey. But
like
that being the case,
heavyweight.
that being the case, I don't see him better than Plant. I would like to see him against Munguia.
Yeah.
I think that Boo Boo can get him because Boo Boo's technically sound. If Boo Boo don't come in overweight. You said what?
Yeah. I would like to see that one, Munguia and Berlanga.
Oh, that would be a slugfest. That would be a slugfest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Who would you pick?
I would favor Munguia.
Yeah, me too.
Because that fight against Deverenchenko, I mean, I saw him grit down, bite down, and really fight for it. Now, I didn't think he won that fight. I thought Deverenchenko won that fight, but I didn't think highly of Munguia. And in that fight, he really showed me a little bit of grit. And then the Canelo fight where he got put down. But that's the thing with Canelo. Canelo plays with his food after he gets him down. I think after that, he doesn't really try to get rid of him.
Yeah,
because I think if he would have tried to get rid of both of them, he could have got rid of both of them.
Canelo don't get enough credit for his ring IQ, man. Off the charts.
Canelo is the thing, man, and that's why I pick him. Or I favor him over Benavidez because Benavidez is a pressure fighter. Like he's a volume puncher as well too. Like he has to accumulate over time. And if you looked at the fight with Plant, Plant was over there able to pretty much navigate him the whole fight without having the kind of thudding punch that Canelo has. So now Canelo has a similar skill set to Plant when it comes to boxing. Whereas if he can see openings, he can land them. And Benavidez does provide you with some openings, albeit he's coming with fire in turn.
Right.
So
You have to walk through to get to those openings.
the
Though.
greatest, yeah, and the
to get to them. You know.
for sure. No, that's absolutely correct. To me, the fight with and I know it was a while ago, but the first fight with Triple G showed me that Canelo can punch through punches.
Yeah.
Now he lost that fight to me. He lost that fight. He absolutely lost that fight to me.
I thought so.
I think he lost the first 2 fights, to tell you the truth, against Triple G, but they were close.
Very close.
But it showed me that he can, 1, take a punch from harder punching people.
Oh,
2,
sure.
he can take punches in bunches if they throwing them in bunches. And 3, he can throw punches in between your punches.
Yeah.
And he hits harder. Like he really hits harder. And I think because it's a fight for the country, I think his passion will be in it to the point where he will be there to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I think that combination of skill, power, and ability to take a punch is going to be a little bit tough for Benavidez to overcome, especially with the big lights being on. That's big light.
Yeah, like Canelo coming to win. Well, he coming to win all of them, but you know what I mean? He coming to win that one. When he go against Benavidez,
for sure,
be at the top of his game for that one. Man.
For sure. So and on top of that,
yeah. Very good.
And on top of that, I'm gonna say this, because I do respect Benavidez, and I do recognize that he's getting a lot better within a lot of things that he didn't do so well earlier on.
Yes, he is.
So there is always the chance that Benavidez can overwhelm him, and that's a good fight. That will make money, and I think that will be the fight that he ends his career off on that fight right there.
That's what makes it so good. You know, Canelo winning most of the time. We know Canelo winning, you know, going into the fight, but not this time. It won't be like that. You know, he got a chance to lose this one.
He do,
he's going to lose it, but we can say he might lose.
No. There's a good chance he could lose that fight. Right. Benavidez is that good. No, like I don't discount Benavidez one slight, but I will say that fight against Plant changed when he landed that elbow, and I know he threw that elbow because Plant was disrupting him with the grabbing, and he didn't like it because the ref wasn't stopping it for his liking. So he threw the elbow intentionally, but after that. And them elbows can disorient you. You know, Plant never was the same.
You ain't supposed to hit nobody with your bare elbow like that, man.
Yeah, this ain't what you call that, MMA.
Well,
it's not that. Yeah, man. So you know, he definitely got away with that. Yeah. Now, did it change the course of the fight? I believe it did. Would it have an effect on the outcome? I'm not too sure, but we don't know.
Yeah.
But BBO up in there, he doing what he'd always do. He over there telling jokes.
Yeah.
Saying T.O. stops tanking 5. You know, shout out to the good brother BBO.
BBO really believes that.
No, he doesn't believe that. He just says that because he wants to generate the conversation. but you know, I would love to see him since he's calling. See, this is the thing with me. Mm-hmm. If you're having a problem getting a fight and people are calling you out, entertaining the call out. Say, bet, let's make it. You know what I'm saying? You put your belt up, I put my belt up.
And get it on.
Get it on. Why not? Because you know, I know Bob covets the belts because that's how he recruits his. Gives him a chance to compete for the belt and the title.
Yeah.
And whoever he chooses to push forward.
3 of them over there now with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. I think
Shakira left.
He got 2. Yeah. He got 2.
Yeah.
He got 2. So like at 35, he got them open competition for Barancic's belt and for the belt that Loma holds. And then at 40,
Barancic still has his belt, right?
Yeah, Barancik got his belt.
Like, you said like for his belt, like somebody he definitely gonna lose it. He might not. You know, Barancik might keep his belt, man, for a minute. You said like for Barancik's belt, like whoever you go up against definitely gonna take it.
well, no, I'm not saying that, but it's set up. Well, hear me out. Both of those belts are set up for 1 of 3 fighters.
Yeah.
Mortai.
Mm-hmm.
Emilio Vargas, or who?
How about Keyshawn? Ain't he with both?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Keyshawn. So 4 fighters. 1 of 4 fighters. Right? Keyshawn Davis, and then and then a little bit later on, Abdullah Mason.
Yeah.
Those 4 fighters are going to compete for those 2 belts. I don't see him making a belt.
You said
fight.
Vargas, right? Emiliano.
Yeah, Vargas.
Okay. Yeah.
Because Vargas is getting a bigger push from Bob.
They were on the same cards for a minute. The last one they wasn't on there, but they had them
if it was really like TBC, they would be fighting one another pretty soon. But they're not. They're going to try to clear the path.
For a while. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to try to clear the path.
Bob going to save it.
Yeah. He's going to try to clear the path to like when the other ones move up and wait, and then if they're still there. But I don't know how much longer either of them two can stay at that weight. They're both taller fighters, if you know what I mean. So but that's the pathway. And I think with regards to Tio has pissed Bob off so many times, he might be a sacrificial lamb. The only way Loma gets price is if it's his last fight, where we're gonna send him off big. But they don't want to part with the belts over there because the belts keep people coming. Like, we can get you opportunity, we can get you exposure, and you can become a champion. And that's hard to turn down.
Yeah.
And you're going to be making more money than your parents probably had made in their lifetime. So that's also hard to turn down. Yeah, so it's a business indeed.
Yeah. We got to get ready to get on up out of here, though.
I could talk all day.
5-minute grace period. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to go over that because, the queen will dock you. And I know she's looking in right now. Shout out to the good brother. Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV. My man, Bruce Gas Boxing. Shout out to the good brother, BBO Boxing TV, always telling good jokes. Shout out to the good brother, the ubiquitous and loquacious one, Aunt McQueen, always putting it down in that corner, whether it's casual or if it's the casuals. That man's putting it down. Shout out to the lovely Queen Heather E. My man, Young Job, Big Job Dre, the spokesman, James Brody, and last but not least, Mike Ram. We got Remo from Let's Talk Fashion, and I believe Jay Hardcore was up in here. And always salute Mike Magic and the better half. The better half, Mrs. Cash, the Queen, and shout out to the good brother BBO Box. Cash Sports Boxing, the Box Historian. Always a good learn every single day. Come on.
Okay, appreciate you, T Hill. We got Just Do Boxing coming up next. This is Cash Sports. Don't miss tomorrow. It's the matchups versus the legends. We got the marvelous Marvin Hagler. Be there or be square. Just Do Boxing straight ahead. Everybody have a great day. I'm out. Yeah, I made it.